So great. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. My name is Tammy Anderson Ward, and I'm the conference producer for the Energy Healing Conference. It's kind of a mouthful there. But welcome. We are so excited to have you here today. Whether you're joining us on the platform of Facebook or YouTube or wherever it is that you are joining us, I am totally fine to have you joining us from wherever you are. So I'm so excited to have you be a part of this. And feel free to respond, answer questions. Even if you're watching this on the replay, we are just happy to have you join us and be a part of our community here. Our expert today is Valerie Neslen, and I am excited as heck for her to tell us a little bit more about what the abbreviations behind her name mean, because I actually don't know what they are. But I will go ahead and introduce her to the point of my ability. She is a functional nutritionist expert, and she's known for helping clients tackle their complex challenges, including digestive issues, hormone imbalances, blood sugar regulation, autoimmunity, and even mold toxicity. Her passion for nutrition began as a mom to two twin boys with some pretty significant issues on their own. After years of doing doctor visits and limited solutions, Valerie discovered the power of nutrition in transforming their health overall. And this experience, combined with her own recovery from chronic pain, brain fog, and her own issues with depression, inspired her to help others even regain their own vitality through a personalized root cause approach. The thing I like about that is because not every single person is the same, right? We're not a cookie cutter type of, body. Like, we all have our own stuff going on, our own genetics, our own everything. So she is a certified functional nutritional therapy practitioner. I guess that's the abbreviation. Master restorative wellness practitioner and functional supplement specialist. She has studied under top functional health experts, including Datis Kharrazian, Julia Ross, and Keesha Ewers, which I have got to meet her before, and she is a doll. I love her. She spent 2 years also consulting with Margaret Floyd Barry, who is a co-founder of Restorative Wellness Solutions. So her extensive training, you guys, this is just awesome. Includes advanced certifications in gut health, hormone optimization, and nutritional blood chemistry, making her a trusted resource for clients with even the most complex concerns around all of these different topics. Through her practice, Valerie Neslen Functional Nutrition, she works with clients across the U.S. offering practical solutions and compassionate support. And I will vouch for that. She is definitely somebody who will get you what you're looking for, and she is very compassionate. Drawing on both her professional training and also real life experience, she empowers her clients to uncover the root causes of their symptoms and just really feel like themselves again, whether it's digestive discomfort, chronic fatigue, or unexplained symptoms. She's kind of a little bit like a magician here. She provides the expertise and the professional guidance needed to create meaningful, lasting change. And today we're going to be talking about some suggestions for eating healthy during the holidays, really some key factors, some practical tips that you can do right away for improving your health. What's the deal with multivitamins and supplements? Like, I want you guys to be able to ask some questions here. So please feel free to get involved by reaching out to her. And I also will give you her contact information as well. But without further ado, I want to bring on the amazing Valerie. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Tammy. I'm so good. Thank you. I'm going to add magician to my resume. I wish I could. I'm not a magician, but I love the sound of that. That sounds awesome. But thank you for the nice intro.
Absolutely. I kind of think of you that way. Whenever I'm talking to like my friends that are like, I've got this mystery thing going on. I'm like, have you ever heard of Valerie Neslen? And that's how I talk about you behind your back. She is a magician when it comes to this kind of stuff, because you really do have a lot of knowledge in your back pocket. And welcome, Carolyn Schofield. She says she's joining us in Pocatello, Idaho right now. So wonderful. Happy to have you here. That's wonderful. Okay, so go ahead, and I want you just to hit me with your best tips for healthy eating during the holiday, because I have been doing sugar-free so well for so long. And yesterday, I don't even know what happened to me. I ended up in the grocery store, going in the candy aisle, no less, bought myself
You walked right down it.
not one candy bar, but a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups. And I got in the car and I opened up wrapper after wrapper. And I literally had, I think, 4 when I was done. Was like, what am I doing? It was like I snapped out of it. I took the bag, I twisted it up, I put it out of my reach and gave it away immediately. But it was weird as heck. And I'm like, I'm not the only one who's encountered this during the holidays, so I can't wait.
I love that story, Tammy. Okay, like, look at what you did. Okay, first of all, you have this thing that you've been doing for a while, so, and that's important. You don't head into the holidays and start a new program, right? That's the wrong time to start something new. So for you, this is like, how do I stay on board with what you're already trying to do, right? And what you did was perfect. You slipped into old habits, which is super, super, super easy to do during the holidays, because we get on this, it's like we enter this different dimension when the holidays come, because we're around different people. We have traditions, we have a culture that we're trying to fit into. And so everything changes. So I think, and what you did, so you went back to old habits, and then you realized it, and then you did something about it. You didn't like say, oh, well, it doesn't matter what I do from now on, and eat the rest of the bag. You closed up the bag and then you moved it. And even if you had finished the whole bag, you still can decide at that point what you're going to do differently next. And I think that's the biggest key to what's going on in the holidays. The last thing in the world that you need anytime in your life, but especially during the holidays, is to give yourself guilt over food. Like, guilt and food do not belong together at all. And I really, really hoped you enjoyed the candy that you ate. Like, if you went through all that and you didn't enjoy it, like, what a shame. So enjoy it. And I'm glad. And I think it's just a matter of making that choice and owning the choice. And then you chose to put the bag away too. So own that choice too, and just move on. That's huge. So I think the biggest thing to remember during the holidays is to not beat yourself up and to not start something new. But that said, if you have goals and things that you're working on, whether it's the way that you eat or the way that you exercise or the way that you have relationships, whatever it is, you kind of need to make a plan ahead of time if you're going to be successful. So next time you go in the grocery store, make a plan. Like, do you need that aisle? If you need that aisle, what are you going to get on that aisle? And then you have a plan, and you can skip right by the things that you don't need. If you don't have a plan, then you never know what's going to happen. So, so that's the plan. If you're going to your in-laws for the holidays and you need to make sure that there's food that you're okay eating, you take it with you, or you arrange things ahead of time, but you plan. You make sure that you have all of the things that you need beforehand. So I know that's not rocket science or anything, but just making a plan. That's the idea for making it through the holidays with your healthy habits.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and I definitely did not have a plan to go down the sugar aisle. I usually avoid that aisle at all costs. And it was so bizarre because I only went in there to get some gluten-free sourdough bread for my husband. I'm officially not eating any sort of breads right now at all, just because I feel better. I noticed that in my own health. And so I went in there, and then I was like, oh, he'd probably like some gluten-free crackers. And then, and it was so bizarre. And then I ended up in front of it, and literally my kids said, what are you doing? My kids, my teenage children that were with me were like, what are you doing? Because they know that is not what I typically do. So I love these tips. Number 1, don't beat yourself up. Number 2, don't start something new, right? Number 3, have a plan. What would you say would be like another critical step going into the holidays for healthy eating?
Beyond that, I think it really depends on the person and what's going on. If you're traveling for the holidays, that puts a wrinkle in everything that you want to do. And if you're traveling with extended family that you don't typically spend a ton of time with, there are just so many dynamics there that change things for you. So you stop and think about what you envision being the difficult moments being. Is it going to be that you are going to eat all of the neighbor gifts that people drop off for you? And if that is the problem, then make a plan. Be like, kids, look, there are some neighbor gifts. You can have as much as you want of that before dinner so that I don't eat it, right? So, whatever it is, like you find your pain points and you make a little plan for it, and you make it fun too. Like, that shouldn't be something that is going to give you more stress. You've already got enough stress over the holidays. A big thing that I see that people deal with is when they go to holiday events, and it doesn't have to be treats that are the problem. It can be the sourdough bread, that you miss, or, the traditional stuffing that you love that Aunt Rita makes or something. It can be a lot of different things, but whatever it is, make sure that if you're not confident that you're going to be able to eat enough of what you are currently eating, that you show up full. Eat before you leave.
I love that. I can totally do that
before you leave. Right.
Okay, that's a great idea. What a great tip. Oh my gosh, that is like the best tip actually that I think I've ever heard for the holidays. That is amazing. And I really haven't had any binge eating or anything like that we're talking for a very long time. I have been doing so well. And I know that there's other people who might be experiencing something similar. So that's why I wanted to just allow myself to be vulnerable for a moment and just share, because I think when you know that you're not alone, that's pretty powerful to be able to be like, you know what? She made a mistake and she was able to forgive herself and move on and continue eating healthy. And look, she's getting support from the amazing Valerie Neslen. So there's things that you can do. You don't have to continue eating the rest of the bag and throw away the rest of your health during the holidays, right? So I love that so much. One of the other things that we had talked about, you and I, specifically, is what is something that anyone can do. So let's go ahead and kind of shift gears a little bit to that. What's something that anyone can do right now to improve their health?
That's a good question. And I bet if you ask that same question of anybody listening, everybody would be able to give you an answer. And that's a cool thing. We all already know a lot of stuff about how to be healthy, right? It's a matter of doing it. But when it comes down to how to eat healthy, one of the things that sticks out to me the most when I'm working with any of my clients, with all of my clients, and we look at what they're eating and look at how we can tweak things to be better for them, for whatever situation they're facing, almost across the board, I recommend eating more vegetables. Just eating more vegetables. And that's something anybody can do, right? If you don't like vegetables, then pull out the recipes of what you do like. If you have to hide your vegetables in something else, do it. If you love roasted vegetables, eat more roasted vegetables. If you love eating, carrots with dip, eat more carrots with dip. Like pull out all the stops, just eat more. I think eating more vegetables usually comes down to making sure that you've shopped and have vegetables available to you in your fridge or in your freezer. So just eating more vegetables, like of all the things that you can do to improve your health, eat more vegetables. You're going to improve your body's ability to do 100,000 different things if you give your body the nutrients that you find in vegetables.
That's awesome. So give us maybe your top 1, 2, or 3 vegetables that you feel like have the most nutrient dense qualities to them. It's okay, these are the ones that really are valuable. So if you're going to go for it, if you like any one of these 1, 2, or 3, what would you suggest?
Biggest bang for your buck vegetables. Okay. So that's a lot harder of a question than you might think. Because I usually will, depending on what's going on for somebody, I might give different recommendations based on what it is that is what is it that you're missing? So what I typically do, rather than say eat these specific vegetables, I'll say let's just make sure you're eating all different kinds of
Oh,
vegetables.
that's good.
So make sure that you're eating the colorful vegetables. Make sure that you're eating cruciferous vegetables. Make sure that you're eating the leafy greens, and make sure you're eating all of those every day.
Awesome.
So I think for women, one of the ones that comes up the most because of hormone health is eating your broccoli, eating your cruciferous vegetables, so that you get some of those things that are really helpful for keeping estrogen at the right levels. So
Awesome.
broccoli for the hormones.
I have a couple of suggestions on recipes that are really ideal for the holidays with those. There's that famous broccoli salad, right? That everybody loves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got like some craisins in it, right? Or there's some simple things in there that you can add that kind of can change it up a little bit if broccoli's not like your favorite thing. And I just made authentic pozole soup. And the pozole, you actually add raw cabbage that's chopped on top, and then sliced radishes too. And it is so yummy. And
I've never had that. I'm coming to eat with you next time you have it. Let me know.
girl, I would totally invite you. It is
Sounds awesome.
I can make it really fast. My friend Espady, who lives here not too far away from me, she taught me how to make that like a year ago. And it's kind of funny. I just told her recently that I called that hominy soup for a long time. And she was like, that is not what it's called. But my family loves it. I was talking to my daughter Braxy about it, and she was craving it. So she actually just made it the other night also for her husband. But you do put chopped cabbage on top, and it gives it a crunch. It's like super, super yummy. It's called pozole. It's spelled P-A-Z-O-L-E. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And if you can do, if you and your family, you know, whoever you're cooking for is good with having plenty of soup. I mean, we're in soup season full on now, right? This is the time. It's just so tempting. Oh man, you can eat a lot of vegetables in that bowl of soup. You can have any kind of vegetable, whatever's in your fridge, you can put in and make it delicious. I love it.
That's awesome.
And the broccoli salad, I'm actually have been surprised at even how many kids like that broccoli salad. And the people who say they don't really like vegetables, they like that broccoli salad. And all the ingredients in there, you wouldn't expect it to taste so delicious, but it is. That one's a big hit at family gatherings.
Yeah, I think it's the crunch. That's what I've convinced myself, you know, because it's just a little different. But I mean, they practically don't even notice the broccoli in there. You know?
I know. It's delicious.
So awesome. I love these tips. Thank you so much. Another soup I've been making a lot is a red pepper Thai chicken soup, and it's made with coconut milk. And you just chop up red peppers and saute them with a little bit of fresh garlic and onions. It is so fast. I've been telling all my clients about it. And just because my kids who were like really kind of ultra picky when it comes to veggies, they came back and had multiple bowls of that soup. It was a huge win. So yeah, I'll share the recipe for both of those in the comments.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Yes.
It's really good. And it's fast and it's easy. And that is what is really important to me also. So it's healthy, it's fast, and it's easy. I love it. So very, very cool. And
you also mentioned things with like not a zillion ingredients, right? So it's stuff that you can go to the store, shop, have in your fridge, and be like, oh, I've got 20 minutes. What can I make? And those few ingredients make something delicious.
I mean, that's faster than ordering pizza. So.
It is. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I used to actually teach cooking classes. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea. How fun.
I taught over 3,000 cooking classes in like a 10-year period. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I really do like to cook. I just like to have, it has to be like fast and easy and taste really good when I'm done with it. So anyway.
Those are good criteria. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So, okay. So another question that I feel like would be really relevant for your expertise is this. What kind of multivitamin or a supplement regimen like is actually helpful, because there's so many choices. I feel like people just get overwhelmed. They don't even know where to start. Like, and I know because that's your expertise, you've had advanced training on it, certifications. I know this is a big deal for you. So I'll let you go ahead and answer that question.
Okay, so I actually kind of have strong feelings about this question. So because there are so many options for supplements, like you said, and we have such different needs from one person to another. Like you also said, we are all so different from each other, in a different place in the journey from each other.
Yeah.
So there isn't a one size fits all. There really isn't. And a multivitamin tries to get us there. There are definitely times when a multivitamin can be really helpful for us. But most of the time, I don't recommend multivitamins, because I would recommend figuring out what it is that you need and focusing on those things rather than a multivitamin. I also think that quality matters a lot when it comes to all supplements, but especially a multivitamin. So making sure that you have the right product is really important. I tell people generally don't buy your supplements from Walmart or Costco. A good one might slip through once in a while, but overall, those are going to be your lower quality supplements. And lower quality means your body is not going to get what it needs from them. It's just going to go right through you. So that's an important consideration. I think it's really fantastic taking a multivitamin for prenatal. You know, if you're pregnant and you're trying to cover your bases, or if you're, recovering from some illness or chronic health problem, taking a multivitamin can really help you get back on track, as long as it's a really good quality multivitamin. But I have to say that in my practice, rather than focusing on the vitamins right off the bat, I prefer to focus with people on, are you even digesting your food in the first place? Because that's where you should be getting your nutrients from, is from your food. So are you digesting your food? We know you're eating good food, right? Because you made a plan and you've got some really good habits established. So you're eating good food. Are you actually digesting it? And is your body absorbing the nutrients that comes from that food? So I really like to focus on some of those elements even more than the supplements. But when it comes to multivitamins, I really like to give specific recommendations to people based on what it is that they're experiencing.
That's amazing. Yeah. And this is where you come in as a magician. Because you're not just like, literally just like, this is for everyone. You literally look at the person, talk to them about what's going on with them. And I know you even have the ability to look at tests and run tests, ask for specific things. Tell us a little bit more about that. Like, how specific are you getting? You're not just like, putting it in a software or whatever. You're trained in this. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I love using labs, because it gives me really specific information. So there's a lot that I can tell that is going on with a person based on their health history and just what they're experiencing. But we can dig a lot deeper and go a lot quicker when we use labs to help us out too. So I like running labs, and I could, if you have an unlimited budget, we could really dial down a lot on what's going on with you. Most of us, so far, I haven't had a client with an unlimited budget, so I'm guessing most of the people listening are similar to that. So we really focus on the labs that are going to do the most for what's going on for a specific person. But I really like being able to use, even just some basic blood work that you might go to your doctor for can give you a lot of information about how well your body is absorbing nutrients, and what things going on might be impacting your health and what you're experiencing with your health. So I like using blood panels. I really like doing stool tests and GI tests so that we understand what's going on in the gut. Because like I said, I really like to make sure that somebody can digest, and I like to make sure that their gut is is in good shape, so that the immune system is in good shape and you can absorb your nutrients and you can do all the things that your body is expected to do all the time. And I also really like doing food sensitivity tests because, we live in a time where there's a lot of food sensitivities among us. You know that because you're dealing with them.
Yeah.
But having the ability to test and dial in on that is a big shortcut for being able to understand what's affecting the body and what a lot of times that's root cause for other things going on when you can figure out food stuff. So I really like to be able to help my clients bring down inflammation, and understanding food sensitivities is usually a key part of that.
That's amazing. I got a question here from Michelle, who's in Kansas. She says, what are your thoughts on the Eat for Your Blood Type book?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. So that was really a hot topic for a few years. And anecdotally, I've heard from a lot of practitioners who use that in their practice that they saw a lot of good results. But when I think technology caught up enough for functional health providers to be able to do the lab testing that we do now, I think most of those practitioners have abandoned, just because it is so much easier and more, even more personalized and customized when we do lab testing. So Eat for Your Blood Type, I think there's a lot there, but I don't think it's the catch-all either. I think it's more important to look at what's actually going on in your life right now, because that gives us so much information.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, thank you so much for that. I know that when you and I were hanging out with Michelle, actually at a retreat in Southern Utah, what was it, a month ago?
Not Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah. When we had that going on, you had given me a digestive enzyme, and that thing has like freaking changed my life. It is so weird to know that a digestive enzyme can make you feel good the way that thing has worked for me. And mine's upstairs.
I'm so glad.
Mine's upstairs in my bathroom right now because I take it, when I need it. That's kind of funny that it's in my bathroom. But anyway, do you want to tell people like how they can get a hold of you specifically, like to find out like if they're a good match to be a client with you, if they're that thing like seriously has made such a difference. And I don't take it every single day. I take it as needed. And I tell you what, I feel so much better when I have that. And so I'm just like, yeah, totally. Right. Michelle says, yeah, what was that thing? I was just barely thinking about that. It really is awesome. So yeah.
I love that. That's actually what I gave you is called Digest Gold. Anybody could go look that up. I think you could get it in a lot of places. That is a really, really awesome digestive enzyme. Like it covers so many bases that I use it pretty often with my clients, and I rarely have somebody have a bad reaction to it. Everybody has their own things that they're sensitive to, and for sure supplements. That comes up too, but that is one that I've just seen really good results with. And if your pancreas, like we'll just delve into the science for a second, but if for some reason your pancreas isn't getting the signal to release enzymes, or it's just not a happy organ, or a lot of times if there's something else going on in digestion, then your body doesn't signal the pancreas, so it doesn't release those enzymes. That causes so many downstream problems for you, which is probably why you feel so much better taking that, because it causes it can cause a lot of just those uncomfortable digestive things like the bloating and the constipation and the stuff. But the things that like maybe aren't as quickly noticeable is that if you're not absorbing those nutrients, that's going to affect your thyroid. It's going to affect your brain. It's going to affect your hormones. It's going to affect every other part of your body. So I look at digestion as just being this super foundational thing for all other areas of our health. If anybody would like to get Digest Gold, I'm trying to think the easiest way. I think, so I gave you a link to my website. I think from my website, you can get onto my online dispensary on FullScript, and you can order directly through there too. So you can order that anytime. If you want to get really personalized recommendations, which I absolutely love to do. I love helping people figure out what it is that's going wrong. I admit I like doing the puzzles. I like the problem solving, the sleuthing that goes along with it. And of course, I like to see people feeling better when there's something as easy as that, especially like, let's help somebody feel better. But for anybody who is interested in working with me as a one-on-one client, you can apply to work with me also through my website. You've got the link right there too.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that basically gives you a form to fill out, and then we can connect with each other to get an appointment set up. But I love getting new clients and seeing what it is that's going on so that I can help people. Typically what I do is with a new client is I'll set up an initial consult with them, and we'll like get health history forms filled out and really understand what's going on for that person. If they've had any recent labs done, they can send me those ahead of time too, so I can take a look at those. And it's a 90-minute session. And during that time, we talk about what's going on. I ask lots of questions, and we come up with a plan for moving forward. And at that point, I really like to put together packages to work with somebody for the next 6 months, because that's, with this kind of work, changing the way you eat, changing things that you do, lifestyle, those are things that take time. And 6 months is just about perfect to get into a new system and get lab testing done and implement new strategies and see what difference it's making.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, I know a question that you get pretty frequently is, why would somebody go to someone like you versus just going to their regular person that they go to for a cold? You know what I mean? So like, what is different about working with you? Go ahead and I'll let you answer that one as well.
Well, that's a good question. And I think I probably answer this differently every time it's asked, because it's not really an easy answer. In some ways it is really easy. You go to your doctor when your intuition says it's time to go to the doctor. I think that's the most important thing. You're in charge of your own health. When you've gone to the doctor and you feel like you didn't quite get enough of the answers that you're looking for, or if you know that you want to delve deeper into holistic approach and nutrition specifically, then you come talk to me. So, it's not an either or. It can be both, or it could be one or the other. But I think most of the time when I get somebody who comes to me, they know that they're just not going to get the answers that they're looking for from a different provider, because either they've already been to another provider, or they just have a feeling that what they're experiencing can be approached in a more holistic way. And that's what I do. So something that can be really beneficial in working with a functional nutritionist is like my initial consult. It's a 90-minute consult. And that means we get to really dig in deep, and I get to really know you and understand what is happening potentially. So just having more time to work with somebody who knows how to help you can make all the difference, especially since most of the work in getting better is on you. It's not on me. It's not my job to make you better. It's on you, but I can help you, and I can be there when you have questions, and I can help make course corrections when things go off a little bit. So it's having that relationship moving forward, and somebody who can really help you get from A to B in the shortest possible path.
Yeah, I love that so much. And, there are people who are, about my age that maybe they've been making some mistakes or sabotaging themselves when it comes to food. And they would like some support, but they want somebody who really knows how to get results, how to help them to feel good. And that's why your name comes up so often. I mean, I recommend you for moms who might have kids with constipation. I recommend you for moms who maybe they're really struggling with even getting out of bed, or teenagers who are like making crazy behavioral decisions. Like, did you know that your food could actually be affecting all of this? Like, this is such a big deal. It's just amazing. So I am so grateful and very appreciative. I also love knowing that you can work with people really no matter where they are. Like, you work with people all across the US. So even if someone is out of state, they can still connect with you. Can you tell us what that relationship might look like a little bit?
Oh, sure. Yeah, most of my clients aren't in Utah. I love having local clients. I love seeing them face to face sometimes, but I feel like we can get a pretty similar feel with virtual consults too. I feel like if there's one thing COVID did for us is we have figured out how to connect with people who aren't in the same room as us. And we definitely use that to our advantage. So a lot of times, even my local clients will opt for Zoom because it's so convenient to be
It's
able to
very
do that.
great.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it still feels personal. So I feel like it's not an obstacle at all. It's really almost a benefit to be able to connect that way. I have found my clients that have the hardest time making appointments and getting to appointments are my school teachers, and they need it just as much as anybody else does. So it's interesting how creative those people are, and I've had sessions in the car in the parking lot if that's where they want to like jump to go spend their planning period there so that they have a quiet place, or they've come up with all kinds of creative things, but Zoom makes it so you can do that.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, tell us a little bit about your restart classes that's happening in the new year. We'd love to hear more about that.
So Restart is like, it's my favorite series of classes that I teach because it makes such a difference to so many people. And it's a great way to jump in and get a good start on boosting nutrition without if you're not ready to get the one-on-one sessions with somebody like me. So my Restart, we call it a sugar detox, but really and truly it's a food reset. So I teach people how to use food therapeutically to start with, and that just means we're using it to get better, to improve our health, and we do it together. So I love the classes because we spend 3 weeks actually on this food plan, this Restart plan, and we do it together. And for my in-person classes, we also eat food together, which I love. It's harder to do that virtually. We can eat in front of each other, but it's really not the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-week class, and we learn a lot about digestion. We learn about blood sugar and how the food we eat affects us. And we learn a lot about how to really interpret the signals that our body's giving to us in terms of digestion and energy. And we talk about all of those things. And the classes are pretty small, so everybody really has an opportunity to participate. Love those classes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I feel like there's so many people who are like, I have this house and I should take really good care of this house. So I'm going to learn how to, do the winterizing. I'm going to learn how to, do the caulking, and I'm going to learn how to do some of this, or I'm going to hire somebody to come do it for me. I'm going to take really good care of this house because it's this huge investment. But like our body, we only get one body. It's not like we could even move and like get a new body. You know what I mean? Like this is our body. And so to be able to understand how it works, like what a great thing that you're offering to people, especially if their health is starting to kind of break down a little bit, to be able to give them an option. That's a big deal. So I really love that. Thank you for doing that.
Well, I feel like This class is kind of like all the stuff that I wish I had more time in my sessions with my clients to teach them. So it's the basics, and I feel like we live in a time where we haven't really invested in listening to the cues that our body gives us enough. And this gives us a chance to sit down and just listen and understand what is happening and how to interpret what our body is telling us.
And what you're doing is you're kind of giving them the code book to say,
Yeah.
you know, okay, so if your body is doing this, this is what you need. It's kind of like if your, you know, engine light just keeps coming on in your car, you're like, man, I don't know why that keeps happening. Like, that's really frustrating. But you go to AutoZone and they plug in a machine, or you go take it to a mechanic and they tell you what's going on, and then you fix it, and then you get to go carry on your way, and this, you know, check engine light goes off, right? It's like you're teaching people how to notice the check engine light in your body. But then also you're giving them the codes. You're telling them what to do to fix
That
it.
is such a good analogy. I'm going to use that. Yes. Yes. If your engine light comes on, do something about it, right? Don't just keep driving. Right.
Yeah. Well, how many of us have actually driven a car with the check engine light on for a very long time? You know, maybe like in your younger days, and then you realize, oh, I really should have fixed that right away, because then this wouldn't have happened, and then maybe this wouldn't have happened, and now it's
Right.
much more expensive, you know, like repair that is needed or whatever. So sorry, I'm on the roll.
You can keep going forever with that one. That is such a great analogy. I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to teach us more about your service. This has just been so fantastic. I'm really grateful for you, and I'm grateful for your information. I'm going to go ahead and put your website up on the screen one more time so that people can have access to that. You guys go follow her. I put the Facebook and the Instagram up so that you can for sure connect with her, get to know her. I know you'll want to work with her once you do. She really is such an amazing person. I have really greatly valued having the connection of being able to refer people to you, just because, you know, I don't know everything for sure. And
Tammy, I don't know if it's you or me, but I can't see you anymore. Are you there still? Am I still on? I can't see Tammy anymore. It looks like I'm still on, though. I can't really tell. So I guess I'll keep talking. Oh, here she is.
this is one of the joys of living in the country. Anyway, I
was freezing up, or if something. Anyway, it's good to see you back.
You're totally good. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much again. And I mean, we were done anyway, so we'll just jump off. But I appreciate you and your expertise here. And just want to say thank you truly for all that you do for people. And it's great to be able to have a resource. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for having me on. It's so fun. This is the kind of thing that I could sit and just talk about forever. I love nutrition. I love working with people and helping them decode what's going on. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk about it too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thanks for not judging me when I go to the store and buy a bag of candy bars. I mean,
never judgment. Nope, there's no judgment.
It was kind of funny too. It was a little surreal to like almost not an out of body experience, but kind of be like, what are you doing? You know, put that away. You don't do this. I was like, okay, yes, I can do that. Put it away, you know? So.
Hey, I love it. So make sure you got your plan for next time. That's will make your next grocery trip the best one yet. Have your plan.
I got it. All right. You're awesome. Thank you so much. And have a happy holiday season. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Take care, everyone.